Hello YouTube. For the last month I've been shooting extensively with these two cameras. Probably about 20,000 pictures. I've been shooting them side by side, swapping the 100 to 400 millimeter lens, the version 2 L lens, back and forth, trying to see which one is better. I got ladybugs flying around in here and distracting me. But anyways, I got the 7D Mark II and the Canon 90D. Both of them are excellent cameras, and each one is better than the other. Alright, first and foremost, the 7D Mark II, we're dealing with a 6-year-old camera now. Came out in 2014, 20 megapixels, crop sensor camera, compared to a brand new 90D. Came out just October 2019, a few months ago. 32 megapixel sensor. Big jump in resolution. Pixels. But I tell you what, the 7D Mark II takes awesome pictures. This is one awesome camera. Probably one of Canon's best wildlife cameras ever made, in my opinion. This one feels a little bit lighter and cheaper, which it is. Even today, to buy a new one of these is more expensive than this. But the 7D Mark II, the first thing I noticed when I got the 90D, the first thing was the grip. It's a lot deeper. If you look at them side by side, it's at least probably a half an inch deeper. I mean, it feels better to hold. The 90D feels better to hold. After shooting with the 90D for a couple days, another thing I noticed right off the bat was it doesn't quite focus as good as the 7D Mark II. This thing's got awesome focusing. I mean, I think it's got the same focusing system as the 1D Mark II. But the 90D focuses well enough, and it's killer camera. Another thing is the Sigma. I've been using this 100 to 400, swapping back and forth, but I've also using the Sigma 150 to 600, which doesn't focus very well on the 7D Mark II, and you usually only have one focusing point. But on the 90D, the Sigma works awesome. I mean, that's probably one of the main reasons why I'm preferring the 90D over the 7D Mark II. Battery life, I think the battery's lasting longer in here for some reason. This is running dual processors, so I think it's sucking a little bit more juice, but just to feel these cameras, the 7D Mark II is definitely the better feeling camera, except for the grip. I mean, with a heavy lens on here, I mean, your fingers just fit much better than, and this one ain't bad, but the 90D has a little bit more deeper grip on it, easier to hold big lenses, lighter camera, not much, but it is lighter. It's a little bit smaller, not much smaller, but it is smaller, and it's another winner for the 90D. Touchscreen. I mean, it's so much quicker and easier to get into the menu and everything, to change stuff. Or, I mean, the 7D ain't too bad, but when you used everything I've been using since 2015, other than this camera, is touchscreen, and it's just so much quicker to. Once you get used to a touchscreen, you don't. I mean, usually this camera, I just have a big lens on it. It's set to what I need, and I can change everything with my fingers that I really need to. But this, has awesome video in it too, so I've been using it for a little video. And it's just quicker, and it's got the flip out screen. 7D Mark II is fixed screen. Big difference. Once you get using cameras with the flip out, and it makes a big difference. It's just easier. And you can fold it back in on itself, toss it in a bag, and you don't got to worry about your screen getting scratched. But other than that, I mean, this has 2 cards in it. This only has 1. The 7D Mark II uses that old CFast card, CF card, and a regular SD card. This just has 1 SD card. 2 cards really don't matter to me. I've only had 1 SD card fail on me, and that was probably about 12, 15 years ago, and it's because I got it wet. And I believe that's why it failed, because I did drop it in the wet ground one time, dried it off, put it back in, and it started screwing up, and I just threw it away. The image quality between these 2 cameras, I'd say the 90D has a little bit better image quality, a little bit better with the noise and higher ISOs. It's not as forgiving as the 7D Mark II. I mean, you got to have the shutter speed up, you got to be nice and still, even with stabilized lens. You get a little bit of blur, and it's enhanced by all them extra pixels. This 7D Mark II, you can be a little bit more reckless with it and still get pretty sharp pictures. But this 90D with this 100 to 400 lens is a perfect combination. Works killer with the 150 to 600 Sigma, and I've got a full frame camera, the 5D Mark IV, that I use for everything else. I use these 2 lenses with this camera, and this is what I'm using from now on. Kind of sucks that I'm going to have to park the 7D Mark II, but I'm going to hang on to it for a backup to the 90D, which you really would think it'd be the other way around, since this is pretty much the better camera when it comes to the focusing system. But overall, I honestly think the 90D is the better camera. All in all, when you add everything up, this one there's nothing wrong with the 7D Mark II. I mean, it's a bad to the bone camera, but for what I'm doing, this is the ticket. And instant video camera too, if you ever want to do a quick video. This thing's alright for video, but nothing. I mean, this is much better video camera than the 7D Mark II. So all in all, my final verdict is the 90D just outweighs the 7D Mark II for me. It is the better camera. Talk to you later. Bye.